Hey guys, Chef Kelly Cahoon here, and today we are going to be making this boneless prime rib roast. So what I'm doing first, guys, is getting some of this butcher's twine. The reason why we tie up our roast, because it really is going to help it keep its shape. 2 days ago, I salted with some flake salt. You could also use a sea salt. You don't want to use your table salt. But I salted this roast really well and then put it in the fridge. And it has been in the fridge uncovered for about 2 days. And what this is going to do is dry out that outside layer. And it's really going to help with keeping it moist in the middle and then giving it a crust on the outside. Drying out that meat really helps in giving you a really beautiful crust. So you're really gonna wanna get every side and every piece if you can. So don't miss out on these sides, these edges. Woo! All right, our meat is nice and seared up. We're gonna let it rest in this foil just while we finish prepping the butter and the vegetables for gravy. Okay, let's go ahead and make our base for our gravy as well as a roasting pan. Let's set it all up. We're gonna do a mirepoix. So what that is onions, carrots, and celery. And together, those make a really fragrant, really flavorful base. So I'm gonna go ahead and add those to my pan. So this is carrots and celery. I also have some thyme in here. One thing that's gonna be important about your onions and your garlic is you wanna keep the skin on. And what this is gonna do is really give us that dark brown color in our gravy. It's gonna help to keep that color right where we want it. So this has about 4 to 5 medium-sized onions and then 2 bulbs of garlic, also with the skin on, just sliced in half, placed right in here. All right, guys, let's make our herb butter crust. So like I said already, our meat has already been salted, so we're not adding a ton of salt to this. We're getting a lot of our flavor out of our butter, out of our really fresh herbs. So what we're gonna do first is get our room temperature butter and just mash it up really good. We're putting a lot of herbs into this butter. You want almost equal parts butter and herbs, because we're just trying to get a lot of bang for our buck. I'm also gonna be adding a little bit of this rub. It's a charcoal-based rub, and it's quite dark. It's just really giving us some subtle flavor and a lot of color. We're gonna mix this all together. It smells super good. A very dense, very flavorful and aromatic herb butter. All right, our roast is nice and rested. Let's go ahead and put it on these grates and cover it in butter. You're gonna wanna cook with the fat side up. And we're just gonna kind of gently press this butter into the meat. You're gonna try to get every side that you can see. There's no need to get it on the bottom. It'll drip down and kind of cover that on its own. And by drying out your meat in the refrigerator and then searing it, you really don't have to fight too much moisture on the outside of your cut. So now that we have our butter crust in here, we're gonna help to make this gravy. So we're gonna go ahead and add 2 cups of this beef broth and try to get it around your meat so you're not getting that wet. You're gonna wanna use a really dry red wine, and this is gonna help our flavor a lot. Let's get this in the oven. We're gonna cook it at 225, and what's more important than the amount of time we're cooking it for is the temperature. We're gonna go ahead and cook this to temperature. So depending on doneness, you're gonna wanna remove this from your oven or your grill or your smoker at 125 degrees. And it's gonna raise another probably 5 degrees. So whatever you want it at, take it out of the oven about 5 degrees before it gets to that point. Okay guys, our roast is done. I just took it out of the oven when it hit about 128 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna let it rest for about 10 minutes, and while it's resting, we're going to make our gravy. So we're gonna pour this pan while it's still hot into our mesh sieve. And what we're gonna do is just kind of pour our whole mixture in here and let the fat separate. Okay, so our fat is now right here, and we don't want this in our gravy, so we're gonna save this section and leave this part out just by pulling this lever. Put it into a clean container that we can easily pour into our pot. This has a beautiful dark, almost red color to it. We're gonna stop when we get to the fat and do our next load. Okay, so to make our gravy, we're gonna mix our flour and our butter together. You're gonna do equal parts, like 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of flour. We're gonna keep it over medium heat and just stir it till it creates kind of this golden paste. Then we're gonna slowly add our liquid in and just whisk it until there's no lumps, until we get a really beautiful sheen and the perfect consistency. Okay, so now that our gravy's done, we're going to slice up our prime rib. We're gonna serve it on a really big cutting board, just like this. But first, we need to get rid of the butcher's twine underneath. So I'm just gonna come onto this side and cut the butcher twine off. So we're just gonna pull these off really carefully and kind of pat back our crust. I'm gonna cut it right down the center just so you can see how it's gonna look. Right through there. Our beautiful medium rare. And typically, if you're only gonna have like 6 people at your house, only cut part of it at a time, and you can kind of slice to order, because the longer you keep it together, the better, and the longer it's gonna stay. So when you serve your meat, it's a lot of brown, and this recipe does have a little more green because of that herbed crust, but you really wanna add a little more interest and color to your cutting board when you're serving. We're just gonna cut the stems off of these guys. Get some sprigs of rosemary, just to keep it interesting. We're just gonna tuck these in, kind of around the entire plate. You can serve the whole thing right on the table. People can use their forks and grab what they want. It's nice to have the more rare side on one side and a little bit more medium on the other so people know exactly what to choose. And this is it, guys. Enjoy. I hope you love this recipe and happy holidays.